to Black Coffee and Grits. I'm Lisa. It's July. Can you believe it? No, I can't either. It's we're eking in on our country's 250th birthday celebration. I'm very excited. I have decorated for summer and the 4th, and I did a lot of FFOs of like dough bowl pillows that are 4th of July themed. I also got off into, I mostly did temperature stitching in the month of June, but there were a few squirrel moments where I just really wanted to stitch something, and so I let myself have a good time doing that. I have the whole house to myself. I'm sipping on iced coffee. It's so delicious. It is blazing hot, 1,000,000,000 degrees. Summer is here. I shouldn't say that. It's warming up. It's still not really 1,000,000,000 degrees. I know it could get hotter. I don't even want to say it because you have to be sneaky around summer around here. But we haven't hit those ugly triple digits. So that's a blessing, huge blessing. I have so much to show you. My mind is all over the place. I haven't finished my coffee. I can tell you a funny story. You want to hear a funny story? This morning, okay, so let's back up to 5:45 a.m. I got up at 5:45 a.m. That is not a typical wake up time for me. I am usually a little bit more of a stay up late, sleep in a little bit, especially in the summer when we have freedom to do whatever we want to do. But Will was going to East Texas to cousin camp, and so he wanted to get up super early, and my mom so sweetly said yes, she would take him at 6 a.m. So I got up to make sure that he was up, and he was excited to go. So then after he left, it took a few minutes, but I laid back down because I wasn't feeling great, and I thought, I think I could use a couple more hours of sleep. And so I don't know what was wrong with me last night. It was just like, it's been a long time since I haven't been able to sleep, but my wheels were just turning, and I was just thinking of like all kinds of craziness, and so I had a hard time falling asleep, which is unusual for me. So I was just a little bit tired. So I went back to sleep. I think I woke up a little bit before 9, like 8:30, 8:45. So I felt great then. I was like, whew, I feel rested. This is awesome. So I got up and I snuck downstairs. Didn't have to sneak because nobody's here. It's just me. Tyler's out of town on a work trip. So he'll be back today though, I think. So I decided I was going to make myself an iced coffee, and I took the lid off the almond milk after I shook it, and then I set it aside. I decided to put the cold brew coffee in the cup first, and then I was going to put the almond milk on top of it. You guys know what I did, don't you? Yes, I shook it with the lid off. Thankfully it didn't go everywhere as bad as it could have. But that'll wake you up faster than coffee is a bunch of milk spraying in your face. Yeah. So that's where we're at today. I'm so excited to be here. Like I said, my mind is a little bit all over the place because look at what I accomplished in the month of June. This is my cross stitch planner from Katie, the Naptime Stitcher. I love it so much. Not only does it have like the full calendar layout, but she also has some like special planning pages where you can lay out goals, and then she also has the cross stitch tracker, which I really enjoy just because at the end of the month I can easily tally up how many days I spent on everything and what all I got into. And look at the list of projects. It's pretty lengthy. So I have a lot to show you. I have a lot of cross stitch to show you. I got into a lot of finishing of smalls. Like I said, I had a few moments of squirrels. I was about to say frogs. No, I didn't have any frogs. A little bit of frogs. There's always a little bit of frogs. We don't like to talk about those. I stitched a lot on the temperature stitching. I've recorded this now, I think 3 times because the phone rang. So I finally put my phone on airplane mode, so there will be no more disruptions. But now I'm like, what did I even say? I got into some quilting. I made an awesome red, white, and blue Liberty quilt. Super excited about that. I think I'm going to actually quilt it myself, but for today I can show you the top because the top is finished. I did have a sew day. I worked on another quilt during that sew day, and Michelle came over and we had a sew day, and actually we made a baby quilt together. So I'll try to get a picture of that from her. She sent me some pictures of that, so I'll pop in pictures of that. But order of like operations. First, I'm going to show you finishes. Then I'm going to show you all the cross stitch whips. Then I'm going to show you, I did do some knitting too. So I'll show you what I've been knitting and quilting. And then we'll talk about books and what we've been watching. It was an awesome month for books. So if you are into books, stay tuned for that. I have a really good one to recommend. Ooh, my back is a little bit, I don't know, it's not quite right. And so when I turn, it hurts. I think we're ready to jump right in. Are y'all ready to jump right in? I have everything like laid out and ironed, ish. I ironed-ish it. And let's do the changing of the guard. So I've been stitching this series, Heart and Hand Square Dance. So it's time to say goodbye to these adorable little popsicles. For July, we have fish. Now, I just realized I'm going to have to put another washer on this, I think, because I used some rickrack on this one and it just made it. Actually, I also put some batting or usable fleece or something when I FFO'd this to make it a little bit more puffy. So anyways, it's just a little thicker than my other FFO, the previous one. So I need to add another washer to make sure that it lines up with the magnets. But this is what I stitched in June for July, these cute little fish. And I stitched this on a piece of scrap fabric, which I think is drizzle. It's a light blue. And then I just pulled colors from Stash. Some of what I had was called for, some of it was just something similar. And then I put those buttons on. And I have this finished on this cute little trivet. So I've been just popping those in and out, on and off, something like that. So that was a finish, a start and a finish. Also, I'm like, what do I want to show you first? I have so many cute pillows right here to show you. Let's go with the previously stitched but got them FFO'd. I'm very proud of these. I think they turned out so cute. And I got into some trims, which I haven't normally been brave enough to try. Also, because I stitched these previously, I'm like, am I going to remember what these are? This I know is Teresa Kogut's Old Glory from her book, Broad Stripes and Bright Stars. I've stitched a whole bunch of stuff out of this. Don't know if I can tell you what it's stitched on, but it's a neutral. I can probably look that up. And then also I did a color and cotton conversion for this book. So I just have all those flosses still in that like project bag. So I've been using those. I know the dark blue is Battleship because it's one of my favorite blues. And then I did 2 different reds. And I apologize because I don't remember what those are, but I can look them up again. And I fully intend to put a bunch of pictures up on Instagram. So please ask in the comments. I'm happy to answer questions or jump over to Instagram and take a look there. On Instagram, I'm also Black Coffee and Grits. Okay, so I put a little charm on here with some fireworks. How cute is that? In the 2025, because that's when I stitched this. I was given those at a retreat. Aren't they cute? Put some fun Patriotic fabric on the back that I'm pretty sure came from Hobby Lobby. Might have been Michael's. And then my little Sweetwater labels that I've been using to like, I just iron them on and I iron them over. I don't even sew up the back of the pillow. I just ironed it on. And like I said, some trim. I believe that is from Lady Dot Creates. This was also a gift. Isn't it pretty though? It's so soft, I just want to pet it. It's that chenille trim. But I think that turned out so cute. Also a previous finish that I got FFO'd, and I think this one turned out so dang cute. This is Emily Calls. This was a freebie. July 4th, I think is just what the chart is called. Isn't that cute? And I do know I stitched this on a piece of Milk Chocolate Fabrics by Stephanie, the scrap of that. And then I pulled my own colors again, just things that I liked. Probably a lot of them were colors from Color and Cotton. Ooh, but that little aqua situation is so cute. And I don't know what that is, but we can look it up. I had a bow left over from a gift. I usually save things like that and just try to repurpose them. We've got some stars on the back, and then again, another Sweetwater label. So I've been making good use of those. That is, like, you can go on and purchase those from Etsy, or they do offer a subscription, which is also really fun. Okay, another one, and I'm gonna grab the chart for this because I don't remember whose piece this is. But I know I have the chart right here. Because this was a freebie. This was off the freebie table. This is from Patriotic Times. Designed by Sandra Sullivan of Homespun Elegance. I was like, I thought it was Homespun Elegance, but the tag was covered up with a price tag. So I stitched this little guy, and I think it turned out so cute. I just put some homespun on the back with a little covered button. That covered up my Frankenstein. See, I actually did stitch this one up since I used the button on the back. And this was just a little scrap of linen left over. I think, again, I used the same Patriotic colors from Color and Cotton. So those are getting a lot of use. Love my little Patriotic finishes. Remember a month or so ago, I finished this Patriotic Sam, which is from, oh gosh, please help me. She's on Etsy. Too many details. I could probably look it up in my book, in my cross stitch planner here. I don't always put who things are by necessarily though. I think I just put Patriotic Sam. Okay, I apologize. I know this is a really popular designer and I just can't think of it. And she has a really cute series of all these. And I know they're on Etsy, and I'll pop it in the show notes whose pattern it is. I usually do that for every piece that I show. So you can always look there for details. So I had sewn this into a pillow. I needed to stuff it, so I stuffed it, and then I added these cute pins from Jabco, just another button company, and I added some rickrack from Color and Cotton. I believe that is Battleship rickrack, although it does look lighter. Did my own colors on this one too. I do know that I did write all those down, and I'm pretty sure those are already up on Instagram. Another label from Sweetwater. I was using those up, although I hope I have one left for the quilt that I did. If not, I'll order some more. They come pretty quick. So cute, American made. I'm having so much fun with all the Patriotic. So I actually, okay, here's where I went squirrel detour. Erica Michaels put out a freebie chart at market called the America Berry. And I got the freebie chart from my LNS when I went and shopped at Market Finds. So I think you can probably find this chart, but that's how I obtained it. And I stitched it on a piece of blue fabric, again using my favorite color in cotton, Battleship Blue, and basically all those same colors, although I added a brown for the bird, the eagle. And okay, so on a whim, some friends we were Zooming one night, and I had already been stitching on my like temperature assignment all day, so I was like, I really want to start this berry. And so I just did it, and then I got it all stitched up pretty quick. I think it just took a couple of days, maybe 3 days to stitch this. And I watched an amazing tutorial, a finishing tutorial from Helen D. She loves berries, and she's FFO'd a bajillion berries, and I followed along with her finishing instructions. Now, I think I'm not quite the pro that Helen is, but I am proud of how it turned out. I think it looks good. It's a little more puckered at the top than hers, but I think I like it. She encouraged me to do like a really fun topper, so I just cut out like a star. I just freehanded a star and kind of a scalloped top for, we're just pretending those are leaves, right? Out of wool. And then I just added some decorative buttons and some fun ribbon that I had in stash. And I had that button from, I have a huge jar of buttons from clothes and things from over the years, and that happened to be in there. I thought it was really cute. This was a little denim covered button. So love, love, love how it turned out. Trying to zoom you in one more time. It is a little bit hard to show these off because they're 3D, you know, they're not flat, but I have been just enjoying like looking at this. Like I have a little spot, I'll show you a picture, over by my TV where I've had these cute little FFOs of Patriotic finishes. So I'm very proud of it. Uh-oh, last slurp of coffee. Had to do that. Okay. The other pillow I stuffed, which you've already seen, is this Shamrock Blessings. This is another one I got from Etsy. Is this the same designer as the Patriotic Sam? Primitive. This might be, gee, I hate it when I can't remember things. I'll pop it in. I'll pop it in the notes. Maybe I can also type it and put it on the screen. But this one just turned out so cute, and I just used one color of floss on some raw linen and did an adorable little FFO. Used some more of my Sweetwater labels on the back. I think this is, oh, I'm not even gonna get to lying about. I just had leftover scraps. Scraps, fabric I inherited in stash fabrics. Okay. I think last month, yes, because my birthday was in May, I had shown you these adorable little this little pin set that my friend Caitlin had sent me. So I got out a previous finish. I always get this out every summer anyways. This is from Sweet Wing Studio. Life is short, make it sweet. I think the pattern is just called Make It Sweet. But I had stitched this a few years ago on this cute little gingham, and I wanted to put a rickrack on it, but at the time I was scared, especially because the rickrack I ordered was this teeny tiny little rickrack. But after I put rickrack and chenille trim on the other pillows, I just glued it, and it was really easy. I used the Eileen's glue. So I got this back out and I put the rickrack on it, and I added those cute little cherries to the top. So this is actually not really an FFO technically or a finish, but a visit. I don't know. I just added some more to it. So I wanted to show you that. Thought it turned out really cute. And it's summery and fun. And the other freebie pattern that I a little bit squirreled on that turned out so stinking cute and basically just sums up how I feel about summer is this piece right here from Silvercreek. Is it Silvercreek Studios? I was going to show you the pattern. Not the pattern, but the cover sheet. Huh, I buried it. It's right here. Silvercreek Samplers. Sorry, couldn't remember the name. This is a freebie on their website called Dog Days. Isn't the dog adorable? Yeah, I squirreled on this hard. The fabric is a piece of Weeks Dyeworks linen that was like a scrap bag. I love it. It's so fun. It's like a punchy kind of pink color. And then I just pulled colors from Stash, mostly color and cotton. I think some classic Colorworks colors. I have those all written down too, so if you want those, just let me know. I'll put them up on Instagram too. I probably won't post all this on Instagram today, but you know, in a day or two, be looking for it. I love it so much. Turned out cute. This little striped fabric I had in Stash. Used another one of my Sweetwater labels. Put some rickrack. I did this fun little kind of ruffled edge. I'm not gonna lie, it did not come out the way that I had planned. So I used some rickrack to cover up my mess. I don't know. It wasn't awful. It just didn't sew the way that I planned. I probably should have watched a tutorial for how to do that instead of just being like, I'm gonna wing it. I'm noticing that I didn't put any lizard litter in this one, and I did in all the other ones. I just put polyfill in this one. I don't know why. Maybe because I took it apart 12 times. It's so cute. I love the dog so much. I had so much fun stitching him. And I will permanently be thinking about the book that I was listening to while I, maybe not permanently, but every time I see this, it'll jog my memory of the book I was listening to, because talk about dog days. Okay, so what's next? I have more stuff in the top of this that are finishes, but they are quilts and socks from knitting. So let me move over to my whips. I feel like I should pause the video and clean up this mess. I think I will do that because otherwise I'm going to be buried in stuff. Should have eaten some breakfast. I'm hungry. Okay. Time for whips. You're going to start with Pandemic from Long Dog Samplers. This is my one strand a day project. I am stitching it on a piece of Mystery Ada, 20 count. This Ada is a really amazing like overdyed piece. I wish I knew who the maker was so I could give credit for that, but I don't. I'm sorry. I'm stitching it with DMC number 29, just one strand over one. I got another page finished. I finished page 4. And then started on page 5, which we have reached the edge over here. And I'm really thrilled with the progress on this. Try to zoom you in so you can see some of those fun details on this. It's such a cool piece, and it's really fun just like encountering all of the like animals and motifs as you go. It's very intense, and I would be overwhelmed to stitch it if I were not just doing one strand a day. I think one strand a day has been the ticket on this. And this is my leap year, quote unquote, start. So I am trying to finish it by leap year, the next leap year. which I think I can. I think I can totally do it because just doing one strand a day, you actually make a ton of progress, way more than you would think. Okay, I'm gonna be laughing if y'all can hear my stomach growling on this video. That's embarrassing. I have been on a diet. You guys, I took prednisone, when was that? Last year. And it caused me to gain like 10 pounds. And I know that doesn't sound like a lot, but I'm a tiny person. And I had already gained a little bit of weight otherwise. And so add the extra 10 on to the other 10 that I needed to already lose. And I've just been feeling really, you know, not great. So I put myself on a diet and it's finally starting to come off. So yay for that. But in order to lose weight, you gotta be hungry. We say that all the time around here and it's true. Okay, so that's enough of me whining. This is Pansy Patch Quilts and Stitchery and Blueberry Ridge Designs Quaker Farmhouse. Michelle and I, my friend Making It with Michelle, we are doing a color conversion on this and a stitch along. We picked some classic Colorworks purples. So Mulled Berries, Boysenberry Jam, and Lavender Louise to replace the reds in this chart. And I made a little more progress on this. I'm stitching mine on raw linen, 32 count. I don't think I've been, well, I don't know. With those pillows, I don't even know what fabric some of those were stitched on. They were scraps, so y'all won't worry about that too much. But this one I do know is 32 count, 2 over 2, 2 strands over 2. For the main colors, I just used colors from Stash that were similar to what was called for. And then, like I said, we changed out all those reds to purples, purpley pinks. So I made some more progress on the, I think I finished this motif, got in that little rock pathway and started on the house. I was like, I have got to get to the house. I just want to stitch the house. I think this was only maybe in my temperature stitching called for like 2 days. So that was kind of a sad face. And we'll talk about plans in a little bit. I am going to continue with temperature stitching, but I don't know. I have to rotate some things around because I have a lot of whips and that kind of makes me sad, but sad and happy at the same time. Happy and sad at the same time. I picked up a needle. Like, what did this come off of? I have needle minders literally everywhere. I kept some of them on these projects, but okay, the next project I'm going to show you. If you have questions about needle minders that you saw, just ask me. I get a lot of them from Mad for Minders, but some of them came from other places, so I wasn't saying that along the way. A peacock, a unicorn, a badger from the Scarlett Letter. And this is going to be amazing. Kind of wanted to show you the back of this chart so you can see all those animals. Will has already said he wants this in his playroom / man cave. I don't know if that's going to happen or not. I do love that kid a lot, but I am stitching this on a piece of 32 count glassed linen by Fabrics by Stephanie. Hand dyed. I think it's just Fabrics by Stephanie. Oh, it's so pretty. I love it so much. And I'm using the Call for DMCs on it. I needed to clip this down because I was trying to jump off. So I got a little bit more progress in on that. Finished out this bird and then did this little leaf motif. I think this one was also only called for maybe once or twice. Let me flip over to that chart that I keep bragging about so I can see these notes. Only one day on this. So that's kind of the only bummer about temperature stitching is that You never know what the temperature is going to be. And for some reason, it was 92 degrees a whole lot in the month of June. So I'll show you what I was stitching on a lot. Making piles and more piles. I'm showing these in order. I should have said 0 was Quaker Farmhouse. 1 was Pub, Peacock, Unicorn, Badger. The number 2 project was Stars Hollow. I'm affectionately calling it Stars Hollow. It's actually a series of 4 charts from the Black Needle Society. And I started with the spring chart. It's pretty much full coverage. You stitch them all together each season. So I had worked on spring quite a bit. When it turned the corner and it was hot, I was like, I want some like brighter, fun colors. There are a million flosses in this, but it is so fun. I have really enjoyed working with it, working on it. I'm stitching it on a piece of, ooh, what is this, Ada? This is Fiber on a Whim. Do I have this written down anywhere? I doubt it. It's so crazy how sometimes I can just remember and the next time I'm like an idiot. I don't know. Things just fall out of my brain. I told you I needed coffee. What is that? I've used that fabric a bajillion times. Of course, it's a scrap at this point, so it doesn't have a label on it. I'll pop it in the notes. These are the spring colors. I wanted to show you these flosses. Like I said, there are a bajillion, and some of them cross over. Some of them do cross over from one season to the next. So some of the ones for the summer I've pulled off of this ring, but it was a big honker of a ring, and now the summer one is a big honker of a ring. And look at this. Look at all these bright and like punchy colors. Like, oh my gosh, I love the turquoises and the hot pinks. And this is Bubblegum from Weeks Dye Works. There's some just like that. What is this called? Daffodil from Weeks. It's really fun, bright green. Ooh, so many fun colors. So there are some overdyes, and then there are a lot of DMCs. Okay, you basically buy out the whole aisle at Michael's. Okay, I think I showed you the charts, so let me show you my progress. I still can't think of the name of this fabric. It's like, I want to say it's like vanilla cream. That's not what it is. It's making me crazy. So progress I made on the spring chart. Here's progress I made on the summer chart. This one did come up a lot. This is when I did actually end up having to frog on a little bit, because for some reason when I got to this part, actually I know why. I was at the car dealership one day getting an oil change and a tire rotation, and I brought this and I was trying to stitch on it while I was in the waiting area, and I skipped just one stitch instead of 2 for this little part right here where this building is coming in. And so I had to take it out, which meant I also had to take out some of the blue. Thankfully, I didn't have all that filled in. I did work on those flowers a lot. Aren't those fun? So I have sunflowers coming up in the backyard. I'll pop in a picture of how pretty they are. They're like enormous, and they're not usually where I have them. Like, I don't plant them, they just come up every year. In the past they were back by the fence line, but this year I think I took them down like early, and I spread the seeds in like a different area than where they had been coming up. So I wanted to keep them even though they're like right by the back door. It's still really fun. So that's my little bit of, I don't even have to, I'm not even going to call it gardening because it's just a dumb luck that those come up back there. There are a little bit of flowers back there. Okay. The next, this is such a cute project bag. Coffee for Gilmore Girls. The next project on the list is the Farms of Hawk Run Hollow. This is by Carriage House Samplings. And I've been stitching on this for a billion years. It's huge. I'll have to stand up to show it to you because it is literally a bed sheet. I'm stitching it on Fiber on a Whim Latte, 32 count linen, so it's big, but no regrets about that. And I'm stitching it with all of the call for DMCs. You guys, I am so close to another block finish. And I kept saying that I really wanted to make this like a focus piece. So I am going to keep this on my temperature stitching going forward. I got another cow finish, this one right here. I actually worked on this a little bit yesterday to finish that cow. I have a needle minder like right in the way. This is a really cute Dr. Pepper needle minder. That one's from Mad for Minders. So there's one more cow to go in this block, and then that block is finished. And then I think I'm going to go back to this Monday barn raising and maybe try to complete the top. You guys think I can complete the top of this year? That would be amazing. Amazing. So, did I tell you all the things? I think I did. It's a fun piece. I know a lot of people have been stitching on that too. Okay, the next one, the next temperature stitch is number 5. It is A Worthy Patriot by Plum Street Samplers. And I know this one came out at market and a lot of people are stitching it, and some people have already finished it and it looks absolutely amazing. I think this is another one that came up a decent number of times, but I was squirreled at the moment and I was stitching on the strawberry and that cute little Dog Days pillow. So I did make progress on it, but not as much as I could have. I'm stitching it on a piece of, what is this linen? This is, every time y'all are like, Lisa, get your act together. I have to go grab the bag. The bag has the notes for the fabric. Absolutely lied. The bag did not have the notes for the fabric. I'm using all the called for flosses on this, except I substituted black coffee for 310, I think. It already had grits in it. It does have a mix of DMCs and overdyes. The fabric is what I was trying to tell you about. This is a fabric from Seraphim called Old Stationery, and it is beautiful. I really love it, and I think that all the colors are really popping well. So I got in, I think this is Paul Revere, and this flag, and I did some of the over one stitching. I think I already had that flag last time. I did all these little quilting motifs, and then I went up here and I started working on this dove, and I felt sad that I didn't get that finished, but you know, it'll get stitched one day. So it's coming along. I wanted to put in a horse, and I love these big samplers because you can kind of jump around once you get, you know, either part of the border done or, you know, halfway across, which was what I did with those letters, so that I could start stitching on whatever I wanted. And you know, I really want to get down to that dark part with the crossing the Delaware. It's so cute. Look at it. Oh, this whole thing is adorable. So, well, I'll tell you about it in a minute. I don't want to jump the gun here. The next project on the list, that was number 5, so this is number 6. Is that true? I think it is. This is 6 or 7. No, it's 6. The Sandlot. This is a project by Forbidden Fiber Co. That was a kit that I got for my birthday a couple years. I love baseball. You guys know that. There's been a lot of baseball watching. My Texas Rangers have gotten back into first place. So excited. It's been a weird year, a lot of injuries, but you know I love baseball, so I could talk about that all day. This is about cross stitch. I swapped out the fabric. The fabric that came in the kit, it was like this pretty gold, like over-dyed fabric, but for some reason, this yellow for your Killing Me Smalls did not show up on it the way I wanted it to. So I switched to, this is Cottage Stone. Am I telling lies left and right? Too bad the labels aren't on these. Normally I can just spout all this stuff off. It's probably because I went back to, I don't know what my problem is. My brain isn't working good today. But this is a color and cotton linen. I believe it's called, maybe it's just stone. But I think it's Cottage Stone. It's gray. It's really fun. So it's a great neutral, and all these lovely primary colors are popping off of it. So I finished this motif. Windy peppercorns, sunglasses there. And yeah, we're gonna talk about plans in a minute, but I think I'm really up in the air about plans. So we'll see if this one stays in the mix. It is very summery, and obviously I love baseball. So those little motifs go pretty fast. It's not a huge chart. What size is this? It is 92 by 146. So medium-ish. Okay, so the next whip I have to show you is number 7. And then I have an interesting story to tell. Number 7 is Farmhouse Stitchworks Summer Refreshes, and I'm doing this whole series. This is stitched on, I want to say this is 16 count. I think this is 18 count freeze by, is this Atomic Ranch or Fiber on a Whim? I think it's Atomic Ranch. And this fabric, I'm actually doing 2/2, even though it's 18 count, which normally on 18 count, I would just use one strand. But I want this to be like punchy and bright. I did pick my own colors on this. They're DMCs. I was actually gonna grab them for you so you could see. They're, I feel like these are like Lori Holt colors. The red is 347. The blue is 926, and the mint is 3817. So I'm enjoying those. There's another Mad for Minders Needlewinder. Isn't he cute, Uncle Sam? Okay, so I made, you know, decent progress on this. This was a couple of days called for. Okay. Now you're going to ask me about the other 2 projects on the list, which didn't get called. How's that possible? It was never 98 degrees or 99 degrees or 88 or 89, which I guess I'm just glad it wasn't 99 or 98 degrees yet, because that's the direction we're leaning. But so, sad face, this project didn't get any stitches put in on it. This is Barbara Anna's Love Never Fails, and this is my anniversary sampler, my anniversary project. I have to put something behind it, or the lights from the bookcase show through. So I'm stitching this one on a piece of Seraphim 32 count biscuit. Look, I actually have the bag. I'm so proud of myself. With all the copper flosses, except that I did change 310 for black coffee. And so, sadly, this didn't get any progress on it. But I wanted to show it to you anyways, because I think I'm going to put it away for a little bit. And then my number 9 project, which as you can see is in a Patriotic bag, and some of you might know, is Bygone Stitches One Nation, which is this gigantic flag. And so many people are stitching on this, and I'm so jelly because I love it, and I've had it kitted up for a year. And I have a beautiful piece of, I think this is cow fodder fabric. Is that true? Of course, the label is not in the bag. You guys are gonna fire me. And all the floss, which, let's talk about this. I think Blacksmith Blue is the called for, but I changed my white to grits, and my red, I picked Cayenne from Weeks Dye Works because I just wanted it to be that deep. I don't know. I don't even know what shade of red this is, but I love it so much. So these are my colors, and I'm sad that this hasn't gotten called yet, so I'm going to keep it on the list. Let's talk about cross stitch plans real quick, and then I'll get into knitting, and then I'll show you my sewing progress, and you're gonna want to see that quilt. So even if you're not like a quilter, stay tuned for that, because I'm gonna just brag on myself and say it's amazing. Now, if you like patriotic stuff, you'll love it. Okay, so plans. Wow, y'all, that's a lot of whips. When you do temperature stitching, it's so fun because you get to touch a lot of things, right? And I have loved it because I just feel like it takes the pressure off of what am I gonna stitch today. And sometimes I get really, really super focused on like a finish, and I'm working on some big projects. And so some of those, it's not really possible to like finish in a month, even if you, I mean, I guess maybe if you are monogamously stitching on it, that could happen. But I have been so torn about what I want to stitch in July, because it's like, it's still our country, like it's still the 250th, which, let's be clear, we can stitch on Patriotic any old time we want. But I'm a very seasonal stitcher. And I had some other, like a lot of other Patriotic pieces that I wanted to stitch, but we can't stitch everything in the same year. We'd love to, but we can't. And I know so many people are doing mid-year whip parades. I'm not sure if I'm going to do a mid-year whip parade this time or not, or just wait until the beginning of the year. My regular floss tube's already almost an hour long, so I can't imagine how long a 50 project whip parade's going to be. Phew! Last year I did, or like at the beginning of the year, I think I did like a speed run of them, and that was kind of nice because I didn't jibber jabber about every single little thing. Okay, anyway, derailed tangent. With the smalls that I started, I was able to finish them. And like so far, everything that I've started little that I've finished this year, not the big stuff so far. I think I've only added like 5 projects to my whip list for the year, which is not bad because 5. I really wanted to like not keep adding. I think I'm at 49 whips. I said 50, but the real count is 49. So I just hemmed and hawed about what I wanted to stitch on in July, and I'm trying to be responsible and not. So I went through whips, and I'm just going to pop in pictures of these. God is Good. This is a Teresa Kogut piece that I started in the past. And I want to get back to it, and it has a flag on it, so I feel like it's kind of patriotic and it's summery, so that's going to give me some vibes. I've also started Always Remember, so I want to stitch on that. That's a Plum Street project. And I'm up in the air. I think I want to continue working on Stars Hollow. Definitely want to continue with the Heart and Hand series. There's a work truck across the street making a ruckus, and I'm like distracted looking out the window. This room faces the front of my house. Oh my gosh, this pattern is like jimmied in here. I can't get it out. Heart and Hand Square Dance, August. So it's B-skeps. So I'll stitch that one, and that only takes a day. And so what happens is whenever I finish that project, if that number is called, I just stitch on whatever I want to. Or start another small. Sounds reasonable, right? Okay, so number 4 is gonna stay Hawk Run, because I can't take that off the list. Like that I gotta keep chipping away at that. And I'm so close to that other block finish. So I really wanna keep working on that. I'm gonna keep working on a Worthy Patriot because I love it, and it's still summer, and we're celebrating the 4th here just in a couple days. So I'm gonna keep plugging along on that. I'm on the fence about the Sandlot. I think I am gonna keep going on it because it's smallish and I think I can finish it. And I would love to get some whips knocked off the list. Summer Refreshes is gonna stay on the list. I also have Summer ABCs from Little House Needleworks. I'll pop in a picture. I want to work on that. I think I could probably finish that too, depending on how many times it gets called. And then, so I'm going to keep One Nation on the list because I haven't started it still. It's been on the list for 2 months and it hasn't gotten called. Although I feel like I'm just asking for it to be 99 degrees. Ugh. And let's be like honest with ourselves. It's probably not going to be 89 anymore. I'm asking this to be more coffee and it just can't. There was one little sip in there I gotta get out. Okay, let's talk about knitting and quilting, shall we? Okay, so you guys haven't even seen this at all. At all. I don't think I cast this on. I cast this on in the month of June. I was looking for, I did show this, I was like, I talked about this because I showed it in haul. So this yarn is from Knit Dallas, Wenderluck Fibers, and it is the On Mockingbird. So it is the store exclusive color for their shop called On Mockingbird. And it's 100% American Merino, and it's a sport weight. So I really enjoyed knitting with it. It's beautiful. I just think it knits up so pretty. Look at that. So you don't have to think about where all that variegation goes. It just lands, and that, isn't that cool? And then I had, I'm looking for the label. I had a little mini skein of, can you believe, I feel like this has been, I've been looking at this for weeks. I think it's on my stitching tray is why. Yeah, it was on my stitching tray. So this is a little mini skein of, let me show this to you upside down. Old Rusted Chair hand-dyed yards called Tough Sock Mini, Riding Out the Storm. So it's this really fun gray. And I thought it was a good contrast toe and cuff. I could have also done it on the heel, but I decided not to. There's not, well, okay. This was the first time that I hand wound a ball of yarn, and I wound it pretty darn tight, but it got done. I still need to invest in a Swift and a ball winder of my own. I borrowed Michelle's, and I'm just thinking about, I need to use that. Okay, so you're gonna wanna know what pattern this is. And I'm sorry, I'm not as good with all these knitting details because I am still a new knitter. But this pattern is from Summer Lee Design Co., the Puffy Checks socks. And it has this really cool texture. I'm like, I don't have knitting words. This really cool texture on the top part of the sock. And then on the bottom, you just do stockinette on the bottom of the foot. So, okay. She just gives you the instructions to basically like knit things the way you want them, like however tall you want your cuff and however tall you want the, what is this part of the sock called? The leg. And, you know, I used her heel flap and turn. And then when I got down to the toe, I decided I wanted to, instead of doing that square toe again, that I wanted to do the round toe that I had done previously on the last pair of socks, which was from Rose City Rollers. And this is also a free pattern on Ravelry. So I did that toe style again. Did I tell you all the things? I'm not going to point out my mistakes in the sock because, number one, I'm still new at knitting, but I think I'm doing a pretty good job, and I've completed how many pairs of socks now? I think this is my 4th pair that I'm knitting. I've completed 3. Is that true? That sounds like a lot. Anyway, here nor there, but I'm still learning. And so I'm not going to point out my mistakes. The great thing about this kind of yarn is that it's just so forgiving. So you can't really see where I made a boo-boo. So I'm not going to tell you. I will admit that there's a boo-boo or 2. That's all I'll say. So in the month of July, oof, it's hard to say that. I'm going to finish the other sock. And then Will is wanting a pair of socks. And he has picked out this lovely yarn, which I think is going to be right up his alley. This is from Forbidden Fiber Co. called Shady Pines. And it is their Gluttony sock. So it's a fingering weight. And I think it's going to be awesome. So I need to work on some more socks in July, which I will. And I've been watching so many floss tubes. There are so many great floss tubes. But Marjorie May did a new video, which was really just all about knitting. And it was so fun and inspiring. And boy, if you start going down the rabbit hole, she was making me want to knit like tops and like different things. Trouble. I don't know if I have enough time for that. I do love to knit a little bit here and there though, because it's kind of, I don't want to say it's totally mindless, because when you're following a pattern like I was on this sock, you have to pay a bit more attention, which is why there might be some boo-boos in it. But, you know, if you're just doing stockinette, like you can just like zone out. Like you don't have to think that hard once you've gotten the hang of it. Okay. Are you ready to see this quilt? I'm not even sure I can show you this whole thing. I may have to go take a picture of this to show it. Also, I'm a hot mess. Welcome to the show. I didn't close this cabinet up, like banging into this. Knocked this off of my cute little cart. Strings hanging off of it. I told you, hot mess express. That needs another magnet. Ooh, I have haul to show too. Ooh, which I totally forgot about. This is getting to be a long video. Okay. Do I have the pattern for this quilt? So a while back, I was at the quilt shop and I bought this pattern from Villa Rosa Designs called Liberty. And I thought it was perfect for this year. And so Michelle and Jessica and I went to the quilt shops over in Hearst. And we just found like every red, white, and blue that was like fun and patriotic that we loved. And so there are some really fun prints in here. The little one with the little swimsuits and the watermelons, and then stars, and I did some baseball, just fireworks, lots of stars and stripes, a lot of like red, white, and blue, florals, plaids. I did some of that little animal print. Basically, everything we loved. And the same is to be said for the reds, the reds and white stripes. Look at those fun little, I think that's a, what is this line? My brain is blanking out. This is, I have some more of it over on, Tilda, over on the shelf. With those little ducks. I know the geese are so popular right now, the porch geese. Yeah, I love this. I love this so much. I love how it turned out. Not sure I can even show the whole thing. I'm trying. I can't get further back from the camera. I'm as far back as I can go. So I'll pop in a picture. But it's beautiful. I was really proud of it. I just think it's so fun, and I'm not gonna lie, sewing those long stripes and trying to get, my points are not all perfect on this, but it turned out pretty good. And it just feels good to like make something and complete it. Like so it took me about 3 days to cut all this out and sew it together. So the top is completely pieced. I wish I had been able to like hang this up over here. And then I went to the fabric store and I got this for the backing, which is a Sweetwater fabric, which has all these cute little like newsprint articles on the back of it. And some of the labels like that I have purchased from their label package. The American made. Like you're like, what are you talking about? It's on the back. Wait, I'm not showing this very well at all. Here we go. And then I got this for the binding. So this is like another little red star kind of botanical. And I loved this because it has both shades of the red in it. So this is going to be the back and this is going to be the binding. I think I'm going to quilt this myself. I've been sending all my quilts out for long arming, but this one's pretty much, it's gonna look great, I think, with just some straight lines. So I think I'm gonna do straight lines along the stripes, and then I'm just gonna do diagonals on the star part. I have to go outside and take a picture of this so I can pop it in the video. So that was my big patriotic fun quilts that I've been working on. And I also put a binding on this. This is my slow stroll quilt, which I use this orange slow stroll fabric for the binding, this one. And this has a grunge on the background, and I don't remember which one it is, but I love it so much. It's like, I want to say it's like Peacock something. I was trying to remember the name of this pattern. It's Flirty, but I couldn't tell you who it was by. My apologies, but I finished this quilt a while back, and I had it quilted, and it's just been sitting there waiting for the binding to go on. Okay. So that got finished, And then I'm gonna pop in just a picture of my Maeve quilt. I started this last year as well. And I got all this cut out whenever I was at my sew day, my retreat day over in Dallas. But I'm waiting for this ruler that I ordered so I can finish squaring up all these blocks. So hopefully that'll come soon. All right, you want to see some haul? There's a little bit of haul. I got a birthday gift from my friend Katie, So Tattered. How cute is this? She sells these on Etsy, some of her beautiful handiwork, bags and all kinds of just like beautifully sewn goods. Go check her out over there, So Tattered. She's so talented. So she had shown her little basket with thread in it, so I filled mine up with thread as well. When I was over at the quilt shops, I just decided it was time to invest in some colorful thread. So I used Aurifil, so I just got a bunch of neutrals. And then some fun colors that would be good for quilting. Some of my favorite colors, orange, bright magenta, gray. So I picked up those. I'm actually looking down here in the bottom of this. This is actually not, this is just Patriotic stuff that's like, I might want to stitch. That's hanging out in the periphery. Oh, Michelle and I found these cute little, I'll pop in pictures of these. These are some Ruby Star. This is 1-800-NOTION charm packs, mini charm packs. And this is a new line that just came out called Merry Happy from Ruby Star. And then I'm like, did I show you this last time? I think I did. I showed you this from Michelle. Did I not? Maybe I didn't, because maybe I didn't see Michelle until June. Is that true? I don't know. I can't remember if I showed this to you or not. Please forgive me if I did. I'm showing it again. She made me this beautiful project bag with these adorable chickens. This is from the Gingerbread line. Something hens. I can't remember what it's called. I bought some of the fabric for my birthday. She sent me the pattern PDF from JetX Stitch called Terillium Forest. Sorry, this is not a really great printout because my printer is being a jerk. But she also had it kitted up. She got the Roxy Floss Co pack from What's Wrong with My Brain? The shop in Canada. What is it called? And the fabric. This is the linen called Caramel Latte. Oh, it's so pretty. So that's going to be fun. I'm not sure when I'm going to start that, but I love it. I love all the JetX things. Like, it's very tempting. Michelle also gave me Saltbox quilt sampler pattern. And she gave me the scraps from the project bag, which I'm going to make a quilt or some pillows or something out of that line. So it's going to be fun. And then she also gave me Strawberry Dream from Carriage Samplings. We just had the strawberry moon and I did not stitch any strawberry stuff. Okay, the other thing that I bought is all fabric stuff. No cross stitch stuff. So remember, was was it last month? I showed you the big panel from Ruby Star that we bought called Mystic Fable. We're gonna make this quilt. And I'm not sure what ground I'm going to use, but the panel is here. And I was at the quilt shop and found like pretty much all the fat quarters to go with that project. And they're so cute. Look at these apples. So they're apples and little bunny rabbits and the little houses. More apples, more houses. I just love this. And these fun little dots. I think I'm short maybe 2 fabrics. The other colorway of this, the light colorway, and maybe one more of the dots. Aren't these fun? So we are going in July to the Missouri Star Quilts retreat with the Doan sisters. And I know there are going to be some quilt projects surprises when we get there for us, but I think I'm going to take maybe that Mystic Fable quilt to work on at that retreat. I have a lot of quilt projects that I want to do. I have so much fabric over there staring at me that's just beautiful and amazing, and I want to do it all. I've been good about not buying a lot of cross-stitch stuff, I think, for the most part this year, aside from that one little like slip up with Market, but I think we've been pretty good. Okay, I think that's all. I made a mess. This craft room looks like a disaster zone. So, I will be back at the end of July, 1st of August to see you again with my July recap video, and you'll get to hear all about the retreat that I went on. I need to talk about books. I keep promising you this talk about books. We're not done. Okay, I was just thinking about too, like all the things that we did in June, which it was a lot of fun stuff. Like we went to Ranger games. Will and I went fishing one day with my dad, despite the fact that it was blazing hot. You guys, I told you that Will got into Nolan Catholic. I think I told you that. I don't know if I told you that. He did, and I think he's going to go. We haven't registered him yet, but we're ready to register him for 9th grade. And I'm kind of having a little moment. Like, he's growing up so fast, and I'm like, my heart's fluttering because I'm like, you know, driver's ed is like on the horizon, and like going to school is such a big deal. And like, anyway, time is flashing before my eyes. So we've been trying to spend a lot of fun time together this summer doing things like besides just playing video games, which is like his favorite thing to do, but like going fishing with Paul and like spending some time. He went and spent a few days out with my dad. And then this week he's with cousins at cousin camp and doing 4th of July with them. But where I was going with that is I'm going to have a lot of free time on my hands because I'm not going to be homeschooling anymore. And I'm trying to keep myself distracted from thinking about that because, you know, it's bittersweet. You want to see your kids grow and do amazing things, but then you also just want to keep them little. And he's not little anymore. He's bigger than me. Okay. So the other things we did as a family for Father's Day, we went to see Toy Story 2 or 5. Toy Story 2. 5. And it was really cute. If you haven't seen it, you need to see it. It's adorable. What I've been reading and watching, and that was one of the things I watched was Toy Story 5. It was really cute. Reading. Okay, the book that I've been dangling over your heads. It wasn't the first book I read in the month. So let me first tell you about how I finished up the 100 Years of Lenny and Margot. And that was an audiobook I was listening to by Marianne Cronin. And it was really good. It was cute. It was sad, of course, but it was a good story. And I enjoyed it. And I enjoyed the voice actors for the audiobook. That part was really good. Kind of took you back in time. You're in Scotland. You got a little bit of accents, and you were in, Scotland. It was really good. I'm still reading Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix, which I'm reading this, and it's by my bedside in a real book form. And so I haven't been reading much, like real book list. I've been listening to a lot of books because I'm just tired at the end of the day, and it's baseball season. So we've been watching a lot of baseball. So go Rangers. Okay, here's the one. Are you ready for it? The book that I've been dangling over your heads is The Calamity Club by Catherine Stockett. Do you guys remember The Help? If you don't remember The Help, it was excellent, and you need to go back and read that one. But The Calamity Club is similar vibe, obviously same author. It's set in the 30s, so we are in the thick of the Great Depression, and it's set in rural Alabama, southern Alabama. So you've got these like sweet southern accents in there, and like I said, if you liked The Help, you'll love this book. It is a story of survival. It is a story of women's rights. There are some tough subjects in the book. We're facing wanting our rights. We're looking at a lot of issues. So I don't know how much I want to tell you because I don't want to give the whole thing away, but basically you have an orphan and two sisters, and then some other characters come into play, but it's a story of survival. And these ladies, these women, they did what they had to do, and there's some abuse. The orphan girl is not really treated great, and just the women, they're going through a tough time. Like they're trying to do what they can do to survive. So it's an interesting story. It's got some humor in it. The little girl, her voice is so great, and she just cracks me up. It's I think 23 or 28 hours long. I listened to it for like 12 hours straight one day. It was so good. I did not want to put it down. Excellent, excellent. I couldn't say more about it. I don't want to give away all the story, but you'll enjoy it. I'm pretty sure. I did. Okay, so I give it 5 stars. I could go on, but I will stop there and then tell you that I downloaded The Four Winds by Kristen Hanna for the next audiobook, and I just barely started it. And I think it's the same voice actor from The Calamity Club. I'm pretty sure, and I need to go look that up because it's also set in the 20s, 30s. So it's got similar vibes, even though it's a different author. I can tell the themes are going to be similar, like women's rights, and it's a young girl and she's wanting to go to school and she's being told she's not pretty. And I don't know, it's just some of the themes and the things that women had to endure. Like, we've come a long way. And then at the same time, I think, wow, we're still facing a lot of these issues. Equal pay, equal rights, all the things. You know, you're a woman, you know. I maybe have some men viewers here too, and I don't mean to exclude you, but the women are still facing these issues. Women and girls. Okay, so watching. I we as a family have continued to watch The Big Bang Theory. It's so cute. This is an older show, so I'm not going to worry too much about spoilers because it's not like it's current. I'm going to hopefully not spoil it for you, but Amy and Sheldon finally got engaged, so that was fun, and Bernadette and Howard had their baby, and so they're all growing up, and that's been a fun series. Like I said, we went to see Toy Story 5. It was super cute. I watched the latest season of Sweet Magnolias. That is on Netflix. And like I said, I've been watching lots of baseball. So that's pretty much what I've been into, what I've been up to, what I've been listening to and being entertained by, aside from all the crafting that I was doing in the month of June. And I'm so thankful for all my time that I've gotten to spend crafting, and I'm a lucky girl, lucky lady that I get to be a stay-at-home mom and just really keep my hands busy with all the crafting. So I'll look forward to seeing you again at the end of July, 1st of August. Happy summer, happy stitching. Bye. Okay, this is a small edit. I recorded, as I told you guys at the beginning of the video, that I had recorded the intro like 3 or 4 times because the phone rang and I don't know, I was being a goober. But I just went and made chicken salad. And while I was making my chicken salad, my brain turned on because I have food now. But I realized I should have eaten, and that was the whole problem with what was wrong with my memory. Because now as I'm watching the video to edit it, I'm remembering all the things that I couldn't remember earlier. Wow. It's amazing what some food will do for you. But one of the things I had said and then I didn't re-say was that at the beginning of June 1st, whenever I posted my last video, I was kind of teetering around 3,000 subscribers. I was very close to it. And I didn't really say anything about it because I don't want to be one of those people that's like constantly nagging people for subscribers, and like, if you love it, you're going to subscribe. And sorry, my dog is now choking. That's a lovely sound effect. I'm having a good time creating these videos, and I'm not constantly talking about how many subscribers I have, but that is not because I'm not grateful for them. And I just wanted to say thank you so much for all of the new subscribers, for all the people who have been here since the beginning. But we've actually surpassed 3,000 subscribers, and I just, from the bottom of my heart, thank you. Thank you for taking your time to watch the videos, and it means a lot to me to share this fun hobby with you. All the hobbies, the cross stitch, the knitting, the quilting, whatever you come here for. So thank you. I wanted to say that, and I left it out. And also a very special thank you to Amber, who bought me a coffee. You melted my heart. Like, thank you. Okay, that's it. See you next time.